this thing on? Yeah. Hello, 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 hello. Hello, 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 hello. Hopefully that works.
But President Trump says that it'll still take a while to hammer out the details. Yesterday, the president said that the deal was mostly done, but now saying it will take a few days to make sure both sides get it right. The White House wants to make sure the Strait of Hormuz is open before anything is finalized. Trump didn't mention any concessions on Iran's nuclear program, but Secretary of State Marco Rubio says that the country will not be allowed to possess any nuclear weapons. Paying close attention to all of the developments over the last 3 months, Minnesotans with family ties to Iran. Joe McCoy checked in with them today.
As the potential of the U.S. and Iran reaching a deal in the coming days intensifies,
I'm not very optimistic at this point.
Some Iranian Americans living in Minnesota are not confident about the good that will come from it.
As far as I'm concerned, the war has created a setback in terms of the Iranians' aspiration for democratic regime change.
Hamid Kashani is the co-founder of the Minnesota Committee in Support of a Democratic Iran. We first spoke with him on February 28th when the U.S. and Israel attacked Iran. Then he was hopeful this war would finally lead to a regime change in Iran, but that hope has fizzled out.
Initially, when this whole thing started, we got the message from President Trump that help is coming to Iranian people. How
All right, something I want to point out real quick about. You know, I'm gonna wait actually a little bit to see if I can get more. This whole algorithm shit. I don't know how that works. All right, let's get started with this shit. So first off, let's check what's going on in Twitter world to really tell us. So Japan also wonder why. I wonder, oh, because of the oil. They've been low on fucking oil. So of course they will be excited if this war is almost over. Um, a thing that throws me off is that we don't have an actual, the agreement is over. So the market is, okay, yeah, I can hear it now. There, hello, hello, oh no, because they're here. Hello, 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 hello. Does that work? Hello, 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 hello. Okay, there you go. All right. So yeah, like I said, the Nasdaq and the S&P is opened on expectations just from the tweets. So the market is not like So notice this. Notice that the whole time we're rallying right now, we're rallying from emotions of war being over, not from data, not from except earnings here and there, whatnot. But it wasn't your best, great earnings ever, whatnot. Even Nvidia showed it or whatever. So, this is not a natural rally. We look how high we just went just from expectations, the market opening or whatnot. I mean, the war being over. Also, get the fuck out of here. See, normally he starts tweeting about the war being done or whatever, whatnot, or getting work. He normally does this shit on Sundays, Saturday night, Sunday morning. He'll start saying, "Hey, the deal is going through." Except for he started doing this shit way, way, way earlier, and Ethereum was showing you. But right now, even though we have oil going down to $90, the only way I can see this, the way that's happening, is if an actual agreement for, let's say, a pause for 30 days or a pause for 60 days, whatever the fucking deal is. Um, you would have, I would have been showing pictures of the actual proof, like if it was really happening, especially knowing, coming from a president that likes to fucking show pictures and this is and that when it comes to big things, to see that he did it. If it was really happening, I would fucking be uploading pictures of the paper or me talking to them or something like that. But once you went from saying like, you know, it's working, it feels like bullshit. So now, but then you have Memorial Day, and that's why you want to do this shit today, because you have Memorial Day. So that way on Memorial Day, you can brag about the United States. You can brag about how great you are. You can brag about because you made the S&P is now at a new all-time high. The Nasdaq, the US 30, um, oil prices are down. Um, Everything is better. I fixed the Hormuz bullshit, whatever, whatnot, because you all saw the tweets that I was posting that were working supposedly on it, even though I didn't upload any real pictures of some paperwork or something to prove that it was almost done to really explode the market. So, and then we haven't really got confirmation from Iran. Normally they'll be posting, because to me the deal that they want is doesn't really benefit Iran that much. Because the thing about all the structure that you fucking broke, at least pay for that shit, pay for that damage that you caused this war. Even though we both know you're playing as a hero because we're the bad guys. So now you're gonna make it seem like we started this or we in some sort of way caused this because the nuclear bullshit. So I can't see Iran taking a deal where they says, "Yo, we're gonna take all your uranium, and then we're not gonna pay for the damages that we caused, um, and also one open the Hormuz, and also we'll get out of the way. We won't be in your driveway, and we'll take sanctions off and something else, but." Paying for all the damage that we caused? Fuck no. You can. Oh, okay, cool. That sounds good. I can't see that happening. So he's using this just to move the market up. Whether it be the banks, hedge funds doing this because they're taking advantage of the good news. And then as this news spreads around, how hey look, there's some people up because of the war being over, whatever, whatnot. Then more people go in it or whatever, whatnot, and then there's a fucking slight pullback, whether it be on Monday, whether it be on Tuesday after Memorial Day. Cause I believe once I saw that picture on this Twitter that he uploaded here, I was like, I don't think this is real either. This is AI or where's it at? Oh shit, my bad. This right here.
And His Highness, the Minister of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation of the United Arab Emirates, will sign a treaty of peace, diplomatic relations, and full normalization.
So, was this real? Was this an AI clip? Because to me, if this was real and it happened a long time ago, 4 hours ago, when the market barely opened, the S&P would have been flying even more. It would have kept going strong. It wouldn't be this light. It would have opened here with strong candles. These are weak 1 hour candles. We formed already a 4 hour candle, 4 hour candle, 1 hour candle, and a 3 hour candle. Nothing else has developed. Only till 2 in the morning we'll get a 12 hour candle, and hopefully by 2 in the morning the 12 hour candle will get us some sort of pullback and close somewhere here at 2 in the morning, and then from there be able to, as the market opens and it goes up again, what it would suck, it just keeps going sort of up and not never really going actually down, just these light pullbacks. Your next light pullback is gonna be at, it's already gonna close a 4 hour candle at 10, so we'll be able to also see a 8 hour candle. See, it's gonna close 1 hour, 1 hour. So we have a more stronger structure. It's gonna be 8 hour candle, and then from there we're gonna wait from um 10 to 2 o'clock to see where we close a 12 hour candle, and hopefully it's a pullback. That way it makes you, as the market opens with this, but well, actually it won't open, so I want to know when it's gonna close. So either it's gonna close back again. Actually, I'm gonna look that up real quick. Close on no, close on Sunday, or yeah. Oh no, no, for Memorial Day. There you go. Whatever. 3 p.m. Futures market does not close fully, but experience standard holiday trading hard starting on Monday afternoon at 10 a.m. Okay, 10 a.m. Almost all markets reopening later in evening at 3 p.m. All right, so futures gonna be open all the way to 10 a.m. and then close and open back at 3 p.m. It makes sense because it's the end of Memorial Day Monday, technically 3 p.m. when it opens again, Arizona time. Okay. So be open pretty much all night. Another thing I'm waiting for. Oh, okay, yeah. So another thing is that giving me the pullback. So it's giving me the I don't like this is the way Ethereum, Bitcoin, and XRP are holding. If you look at here's Ethereum, XRP, and if this was the real deal, but now it makes sense because this is not the real deal. It's more of a agreement to pause a ceasefire and in between these next 30 to 60 days have an agreement or blah 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 blah. So I feel like this is just news to give it that this was just news or this was just made to give the market an excuse why to go up. um and use that to move the market because they can move the market. They can move the market to fucking whatever number the fuck it is. Think of all the millionaires, all the money that's going in right there. You mean tell me like people are pulling like that number that's just driving the market up to a certain price and then pulling back because people are now taking out and putting in? Fuck no, this market could have fucking opened in way fucking stronger. All this, especially crypto, is telling me like, no, this is not the real move. This is good news, but this is not good news. The real move because this is where we were Thursday. This is where we've been since the 17th of May. So the fact that we've been here the whole time, came back to it, and as we heard this, we're working on it. And I was like, nah, ain't compared to S&P where the S&P fucking opened way high as fuck over here. That's what you wanted to see from Ethereum as Ethereum just went up just by Saturday news about the war being over. About what a coincidence that now that it got to this area, the important area, it's just been weak as fuck. Even though the news has been getting quote unquote better. So I was like, no, this feels like bullshit. Once we have a pullback from the S&P because it's going to have to close the gap that I created and it had to fucking pull back at some point. If we actually get the good news where there's some paperwork and he takes a screenshot or something, he's gonna fucking want to brag about it tomorrow. If it does happen where he announces tomorrow when the market is closed, maybe, then you'll see the S&P boom open even way fucking higher. And then you'll see Ethereum get out of here and be for it and show you that okay, this is for real, this is the real agreement, we're going up from here for now or whatnot. But as long as Ethereum stays inside of here, it's still telling me like nah, this is not the real move. And it makes sense because at first he made it seem like we were gonna fix this war and get it done with by the end of the weekend or pretty much 2 or 3 days, like he fucking mentioned, 2 or 3 days. I knew that he was gonna push it to the weekend. That way, it works for the benefits about keeping the market on edge and having his people do the moves because he's gonna tell them, "Yo, I'm not." What, think about it. You think this old man is that love to tell people everything? You think all the shit that he knows is like he gotta tell one of his buddies like, "Shh, so go for options, go for calls. Yeah, I'm gonna sign a deal this weekend. Yeah, 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 yeah. Go for calls on S&P. Oh, fucking come on. We all know we fucking would. You mean it's not like there's a fucking mic on your fucking. All you gotta do is some sign language or something and go to friends and give him something. Like, come on, man. Like, you mean fucking tease everything that he knows, all these people, all this data that they know that's gonna be releasing soon. They just keep hush hush to each other and not talk about it and tell their friends or their family or whatnot. Give me a fucking break. All right, so what I'm looking for too is now for my indicator. So let me show you how I relate both of these together. What I normally wait for, I normally wait for scary pullbacks. So when we have these scary pullbacks, what I mean by that, if you go to your 1 hour candle and you go to your MACD, when the MACD comes to this area and definitely this area, This is your risk time to buy, especially from the 10-minute to the 1 hour. When there's fucking, if you look in the past, look, every time it goes down to this area, it's your buying area, buying area, buying area, buying area, buying area, unless you get some really bad news, and then that's when you have your next cushion. The more breaks that cushion, then you have this one, which is your really bad news. But all this is telling me is like, hey, get ready to buy. But start buying, especially when you see the blue start going above and you see what's happening with the actual candles and the data, and you start saying, oh, okay, this is bottom right here. And especially once we create bottom here in the 15, like I said. So let's now go to the 15, to the 30-minute, same thing. Notice how when they come to that area, it's a buying area, buying area, buying area, buying area, buying area. And this is your double whammer. You fucking buy the shit out of this area right here. And then it'll go to your next area, and again your buying area, especially if you know the data that's coming out, how it's gonna affect the market and the plays, how it's play out. Knowing that, hey, this is gonna be buying bottom from right here, I better take advantage to start buying or go long or this is that. Go down to the 15-minute candle. Also in the 15 and 30-minute candle in the MACD, I believe also the 30. Let me see. No, this is your 30. This is your 30 resistance right here. This gray line. But the 15 is this right here. And the 15 is this right here. So every time you get to in between in this red box that you see right here, so every time you see it right here, this is the overbought area. And we start going on down unless we get some fucking crazy important bullish news. Then we'll have these moves. But normally this is when we start fading and start going down from here. 10 minutes, same shit. And notice that's what's happening right now. So that's what I'm waiting. And then you go to your 5 minutes. It tells you how much it has lost volume. Normally your buying area for this area right here, my bad for all this shit. Your buying area is when it gets in between these two here, especially when you see the structure of the candles. And also what time it is, very important. If it's your 7:45 to 8:30, if it's your 11:45 to 12:30, all that matters. Also, we start losing momentum going to the border like we do right here. It's definitely gonna start dropping, so you fucking wait and you let it drop in these zones and between here and here, and these are your buying opportunities. You same in your 2-minute time frames. You really want it to go to the to Mexico and then be in between these two lines to catch these buys, especially how the structure looks and all that and whatnot, and what's the data coming through. Like I said, right now it's a good time to buy whatnot, but since you don't know what's driving it, all you know that's driving it is because the president tweeted. The president tweets. But you see how these sort of rejections happening here, and we're coming to the end of a forward candle. Now we might continue in the last 30 minutes, 40 minutes, but if we keep rejecting this area, especially by 9:45 or so, and we start losing momentum, this could be the stop of the rally, and we could start now going down from here. And this is where you take advantage of the volume, and you see that it gets hopefully in between these two, especially in the 10 or 15. You want to catch it when the market gets some sort of maybe Iran tweets something that didn't like, or Iran tweets something that Trump was lying. All of a sudden you see the market drop, and that's when you take advantage of these sweet times. Right now, right here, like I said, you can do a day trade because you can clearly see right here, this is a breakout zone in the small time frames. But power wise, this is when you start going to your pushes again, and we can start getting pushed from here, going up somewhat, and then again, this is gonna be your stop. Your this is where traders get fucked too, because they see it breaking down a small time frame from a consolidating area, and then here comes your 9:45, and all of a sudden it starts dropping. It starts going down and closes somewhere here at 10 or down here at 10. Just and then it starts then with traders, are they either gonna keep going up or not, or because again to keep on going, there had to be a crazy actual signature or something. But I believe also the market is gonna keep on going up just based on that. But we will have to have some sort of pullback, either by 11:45, 12:30, or maybe by 1 or 2 in the morning. Have a pullback, and then once we get to 4 or 5, we open and we fucking make a U and push up again. And with the news and the headlines on S&P opens higher and blah 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 blah, and as investors digest good news about war being over, all that stupid shit they're gonna be saying. Shit like this right here. That's so fuck. Yeah, so I want the 1 minute to come down here to this area, potentially down here. This is a good sweet buying spot. Even better after that, getting inside this box, but I don't think we're gonna go there unless we get some sort of negative news that's gonna make the market drop. But besides that, again, we haven't closed. Besides this right here, that's a white line, 2 hour candle, 3 hour candle, 4 hour candle. So from right here now, I can start boxing the next area. So why would it be like this? Does it make sense? I don't get why this should be here then. Alright, so your next round, actually, no, not even. Oh, those were the original ones that I had before. That's why they were there. Take this one out. So now your actual strong area is this daily, and your next strong area is this forward candle. So I will stretch it out from there. And once we have the next 8 hour candle closed, I'll stretch it to that area, or actually in particular, the 12 hour candle at 2, because that's your next strong support and resistance. You have the bottom of this as your strongest support, and then the strongest area to pass resistance wise is going to be this forward candle. So then I will stretch it out from there to there. That's going to be your next trap zone. This I will move to the back, bring the color down more too. Also, the next area, oh yeah, that's it. So now I either wait for the 10 hour to close. It'll be an 8 hour candle. So then I'll stretch that 8 hour candle to where the fuck it's at, and then I'll wait to how it closes at 2 in the morning, which is the 12 hour candle, and then depending where that 12 hour candle closes, I'll then stretch wherever the top of this is at on that 8 hour candle if I'm awake, which I'm probably not, and then move the box. So it's gonna be now from a daily to a 12 hour candle, and whatever is in between is your resistance getting out of the box or breaking down the box. So as the market goes down in here, I can understand, hey, we have a 4 hour candle, a 1 hour candle, and a 2 hour candle here, and a daily. So if anything, we're gonna stop here and we're gonna have a hard time breaking this 4-hour candle. This is way for 4-hour candle to break it or some bullshit like that, or if we are inside of it and it's 11:45 to 30, it's a whole, are we gonna keep going down, or are we gonna respect the support and hold it and go back up, that sort of shit. So now as the market goes down also to the next session down here, once it breaks this daily because of whatever, let's say the deal didn't go through or whatever, and then comes down here, now it's not going to be hard to get out of this box, out of this one right here, because we have a daily resistance, and we have another 4-hour candle, 4-hour candle, 8-hour candle, 8-hour candle, and a 12-hour candle, and finally a weekly last week. I mean this current week. This is where we closed last Friday. So that makes it the newest one, and that's what we get bad news. But and if we get bad news, I don't think it's gonna be like it was all fake. We never came to an agreement or got together from Iran. You know, if they say something, I don't think it's gonna be that crazy. It's gonna be again maybe, we are working on it, but you know we didn't like it, so we might stretch it for another 5 days or something like that, and then we might have a pullback and down here. But I don't really think we're gonna have such a pullback. Only I think after 1 or 2 a.m. we're gonna start getting a pullback, and then as we get 3 or 4, we'll create support on it. Not here, but whatever we're falling, we'll create support at 3 or 4 in the morning, and then start going up from there. That's what we're gonna do. All right. Now I'm gonna show you the S&P 500 real quick, so we can break down to you what's happening. Also next week we don't have data on Monday because we're closed. Tuesday we got slight data, and I think it's Wednesday when we actually start getting important data. And I also use ChatGPT to also explain to me what data this week was going to be important or whatnot. Yeah, see, this Thursday, Tuesday you got consumer also, but it's gonna be your Friday. Friday's gonna be your fucking banger. So I don't give a fuck what we're doing right now with this whole fucking war. It's gonna be this. This is gonna be, man. Everybody's so happy right now with the fucking whole war. They see the S&P go up and all that shit, whatnot. But until you see what's on the calendar this whole fucking next 2 weeks, you're like, oh shit, we're gonna get some flying, some pullbacks. So get ready to take advantage of all these fucking moves, especially when it comes with candles. If you know how to fucking read these candles and understand how these fucks are gonna play with you, jeez, I love this shit. All right. So now we're gonna go to ChatGPT, and I'm gonna go back to where it was pretty much explaining to me what data this week was important and why. I just gotta find it in my ChatGPT conversations that I had. Give me a second, folks. Hurry the fuck up. I'm with you guys. I'm with you because you're not fucking getting. It better be here, so I'm fucking on. If not, I'm just gonna fucking redo it again real quick. Maybe one question back. Well, you know what I'm gonna do? I think I'm gonna tell it based on the market update, or based on the market update, is the data coming out could now, because with the war, if the war gets, let's say, because what I feel like this whole plan was, let's fix this whole war thing, or actually sign some agreement, any fucking agreement, but let's just sign it so I can go and brag about on Memorial Day how I'm the best and I look how the Hormuz is open again. And even though it was open, and because I started it, but look, it's open again. The nuclear, it's gonna be ours. Um, and look at the S&P and the Nasdaq and the US 30. Look, it's so high right now. Oh my gosh, you guys, I'm the fucking best. I did it. I did it again. I'm the best. So that way you can, it makes sense to me. Like he's gonna fucking have to wanna do. It has to be this week. That way, on Monday you can brag about how you did it in USA, all the fucking stupid shit. So now what I did is I gave it the week's data. Let's see, hopefully this is it. Yeah, I gave it the next 2 weeks data and told it to pretty much tell me which one of these was more important. Right here, all it did is just gave me it in simple fucking lame word, lame in lame terms what it means and what time it's coming out and how it can affect the market and so on. So then I said to rank it, and that's when we go. I think they already passed it or no? No, I didn't put it. As you go down, that's when I tell it rank it based on the market sentiment. So I'm gonna do it again. I'm gonna copy it. And tell me rank it based on the market sentiment. And then I'm gonna make a new one. Rank the following based on current market sentiment. Alright, cool. Now I'm gonna paste it. Alright, so I paste it and now enter. So number one is Friday. This is creating the biggest market moving event because inflation and the Fed rates expectation are still dominating sentiment. Core PCE, the Fed preference inflation gauge. Markets care about this and regular CPI right now because it directly affects the rate cut expectation. Because that's what they all give a fuck about. If core PC comes in higher than expected, S&P could sell off higher longer, but if it cools up, then that's gonna be good for rate cuts. Markets are extremely sensitive to inflation, sticky inflation after recent energy geopolitical pressures. So that's also why geopolitical pressure means the fucking war. So if this war can be already over, that could be fucking something that the Fed don't have to take in and consider every time they do their fucking data. They can just work on the fucking data and not have to be like, well, what if the war this? What if the war that? What if oil this? What if oil that? And they keep saying every time they talk, yo, we can't say shit based on the fucking war. We can't, blah, 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 blah. U.S. employment report also next Friday. Not this Friday, but next Friday. So notice how the two most important data is coming out these next 2 weeks are this Friday and next Friday. Just consider that in case we have any pullbacks, we fucking fly, any of that shit. Just be aware of that. Because people get so stuck on making a move or making a bet or a trade right now because they think, they feel, but not because of what they know. And then they end up fucking losing money, making wrong moves by the time that the market comes and they're gonna do a move that you know why it's gonna do it, you end up not having any money. Happened to me so many fucking times. Yeah, so with all this labor market data, we pretty much don't want too strong numbers. Like if we get too many people getting hired, that's more that's more the wage, paying, all that shit is fucking more. It's more for the company, therefore the company has, all this shit or whatnot. So you gotta lay people off, but if you it's good lay people off, but if you lay too many people off, it's signs of a recession. But if you lay enough more than the usual were expected, it's more of a yes. They need to step. The Fed needs, because then the Fed needs to step in and do its whatever it needs to do to put advantage of the market, so the market could continue pretty much. So again, May 29, you got another one over here. So you have two of them happening. Or that May 29 is gonna be a bunch of them. Also, the first of next week, that's also gonna be very important too. Right here is number 4 on the list. So as this days goes by too, I tell ChatGPT, hey, this is this week's data, which is gonna be more important of all these fucking days or whatever, whatnot. So I'm gonna tell it to focus on this week. Now focus on this week's data and don't use hot or cold. Um, and break down the data, break down what is the data and how to read it and what it says about the economy. This week, more important data, what it means, how markets read it, and what it says about the economy. Currently, markets things going into this week. Let me check the market real quick. All right, what is it? Oh. Right now, the market is trying to answer three major questions. Is inflation still staying elevated? Is the economy slowing or stabilizing? Will the Fed stay restrictive longer than expected? This week's data directly affects those answers. Most important one, core PCE measured inflation across the economy but removes food, energy because those can swing heavily month to month. This is Federal Reserve preference inflation gauge. The market care about monthly core PC year over year forecast previously. How to read it. If core PV comes above forecast, example, actual 4 point or higher, will markets think inflation pressure still present? Fed may delay rate cuts. Oh, for sure, for sure. What it says about economy, consumer, and business still spending enough to keep prices elevated. Demand still stronger than Fed wants. Oh, okay. So we need to be a little bit low or in the same. Is that what it means? If course comes below, example, inflation progress improve, better chances of future rate cuts. Oh, okay. So yeah, we want lower. Okay. That's gonna be this Friday. Jeez. And then we got this other one right here. drivers around 70 on the economy forecast. Seriously, spending. This shows whether consumers are strong, slower, becoming cautious. Higher than forecast, what it means, consumers still spending aggressively, economy remains resilient, can support strong spending, can also, yeah, inflation, yeah, that's what's bad too. And bullish for growth, but can become bearish if inflation fears rise. Consumer becomes cautious, slowing may help inflation come down, but raises slow down recession concerns. Also Friday, yeah, we have a bunch of whole data on Friday. That's the thing about when we have a whole bunch of data that you don't know how the good one with the bad one or this all right one with the bad one, but they have this one out here. It's a good one. But these two are important, but so and then the market ends up bullshitting the bad news and just moves on based on the important two out of the three or two of the three were good or one of the three were good and it erased. They all fucking say fuck the bad news. We got good news with this one. This is still important. And rate cuts this and blah. The market goes up, whatever. Thursday, Tuesday. Measures how optimistic consumers feel about jobs. Forecast 92. Confidence affects spending behavior. Consumer pulls back. Mm-hmm. All right. Let me see if there's any updates. No update. See, he normally would be fucking posting. You see how we really having got like a strong candle. All these little like and we barely broke a new time high here. So instead of like being strong here, you have all these weak candles. So I'm waiting for some pullback to hopefully come down here. And even for this tells you where people went in for buys and sells, where they concentrated. And look how they concentrate right here, this section. Notice how there's weak ones up here. So I wouldn't be surprised if somehow Monday or Monday evening, as we get some sort of bad news, come down here to this region again, create support. Going down to this and closing this gap, hopefully, but if we just keep getting good news and good tweets, especially because there's no news on Monday, the market is closed. Uh, the market is closed, so during nighttime we should be sort of rallying up with the good news, and then social expecting the data at 5:30. So we should, even if we dip tomorrow sometime, we should have a recovery at 3, 4 in the morning as we expect for consumer sentiment, whatever, to come out, and along with the good news of the war potentially being over after Memorial Day was closed. So now the news is really gonna be out from Monday. Um, and all this shit. So I wouldn't be surprised if we get some sort of pullback, but not enough to close the gap, but just enough to go down here to 521 to test it again. Let me see the smaller time frames. I'm gonna add the indicator to tell me the entries. Another confirmation that I have for me, because I want to have confirmation of what I see. So my indicator told you that, hey, there's your entry, these are your targets. All the targets got hit. we should, the more we hang around this area, especially around your 10 o'clock and we start cooling down here, you're then gonna see this entry be right here and have a red stop loss and then targets down here. Especially if it stays there, and it has it right now, see. Especially if it stays there after 10:30 going on to 11. And see that we're getting to the border now. We want to start then going down, checking the higher time frames to see where they are. And like I told you, this 15-minute candles normally your oversold area, and this is typically when we start going on down. Your 15. I want this 5 to go down here to test these prices down here, and that should be when we start going down and testing down here in this area. That's if we don't break this and be somewhere up here. I wish I don't see that happening real quick, but maybe sometime early in the morning, later on tonight at 2 or 3, come down here in this region. But yeah, so it will probably this is probably gonna be peak, and we're starting gonna go down here from here. If we do, I'm gonna be pay attention to my MACD. And I think it's gonna do that. I think after this forward candle or halfway around 11:45, 12:30. If we still keep on going up and hold the closing higher this next forward candle that closed at 2 in the morning, I think that's when it's gonna start peaking really and start going down around 130, 130 or 2, and start retracing on down from 2 to 4 or 5, and then start creating support and going back up again. Especially if, for example, if we already have a wick from 9 o'clock, if we have a wick from this 10-hour candle, we break down below, we close down here, or anywhere below between these two, we are then gonna most likely try again one more time from 10 to 11, again another stick, and then start going back down and closing somewhere here at 2 in the morning, or right here at 2 in the morning, or down here. Hopefully. If not, we're gonna keep on just pricing just of how happy we are that this agreement is really gonna happen this time and all that fucking bullshit. And again, crypto's the one also tell me that shit. Bitcoin and Ethereum. Also XRP. XRP needs to shoot up high here to really tell me the war is over. Back to the danger zone of 137. And then oil needs to go down below peace and love, which is $91, and be right here like at fucking 86, 90, because we haven't really gone down here before. Last time we were down here was when it barely first started. Well, sort of. Right here in 83. So as long as it was still above fucking, what is it, 86, we're still in war. We gotta go down here to the 82 to really say, oh shit, we really did sign the agreement. Because to me, this is still war area. Like I said, peace and love below here. Last all-time high war above this area here. So we were at war over the weekend, fucking on Friday. It de-escalated because of the deal to now back to this area where we've been here before and we've gone back to war easily. So that's what I'm saying. Just because oil prices went down doesn't fucking mean shit. Let me see what Twitter is saying. Alright, fucking saw Twitter. Let me see what I find. Alright, you guys. So, anyways, yeah, I'm gonna come back before I hopefully I go to sleep. Not guaranteed, but I'll try. And I don't gotta really get up early tomorrow. Actually, I could get up early to make a trade because future's gonna be open still. So I want to say your 4-3 o'clock is gonna be your area, especially if we have a down pullback, because as the market opens, anticipation of hey everybody, but then the market's not gonna be really open, so there shouldn't be no crazy fucking move unless, like I said, only on futures, and people will take advantage of that. Um, and also the market, if the actual market is open, but I don't think the actual market is open. If it is, cool, but I don't think so. And if we, and especially on Monday tomorrow, we don't get no actual confirmation that paperwork or from both sides that it is coming to agreement before 10 a.m. tomorrow, before the market closes again. I believe we're gonna get just stuck frozen. And then I think after the market closes and sometime as Trump is gonna have a Memorial Day bullshit, she's gonna announce it. Unless he's gonna cancel it, because I think I did see that, and only gonna tweet about it. I wish I could be there. I wish I could so and so, but this is more important. I gotta do it for my country. And then coming out, I was like, I did it, you guys, but not an agreement that it's over, but just like a pause, ceasefire sort of bullshit. So that's why I believe that's why he wants to stay in the White House and show how much determined he is to end this war that he started. So that's why sometime tonight or tomorrow I see some sort of pullback. And if we keep waiting, there's gonna be your next move where it's gonna start rallying from here again, create momentum, go back up here or here, and then lose, and then just gradually going up until we come back here and we start crossing the border. Then you're gonna start seeing massive 1 minute, 2 minute pullbacks. That's gonna go like from 43 to 39 sort of shit and stay and keep going down. And then you're gonna see this actually start going down to these areas. But that's why we need to see this 1 minute, 2 minute, but actually breaking the border, not just hovering over the border. We want this. We want these moves. But that's not gonna happen. Like I said, almost till your 11:45, 12:30, or after 1:30, 2 in the morning. Because we need to have that pullback to then really come back with the juice, and if the market opens and the money comes in and it spikes and then holds and it comes back and it plays around with it and it stays there as the market is short, but at the same time we also still are waiting for the signing and confirmation, so we really won't go nowhere or whatnot. So that's what we're gonna do, something like that. All right. This is Brian Seacrest signing the fuck out. I'll come back later, you guys.